Hey everybody, it's We're All Fine. I'm Holly, and with me, as ever, is Carley. Hi Carley.
Hi Holly.
We have such a wild episode today. We promised this a few weeks ago to talk to you guys about some wild kinks, some wild turn-ons, and man, I am so excited to learn so much today.
Oh my gosh, there's whole worlds. It's universes of kink and fetish with tiny little different cultures and little worlds inside of it.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Remember, this is an NSFW, so heads up, everybody.
Yeah, please don't play this episode with your kids in the car. I want to just get this out before we get started. So this is my disclaimer. We are not here to kink shame.
Mm-mm.
So whatever makes you happy, as long as it is safe and consensual, I love it for you. Like, that is great. If you are not hurting yourself and others and everyone involved is of legal age and consenting in it, huzzah. Great for you. Wonderful. That does not mean that I am not going to have some visceral reactions to some of these. For me, in my little vanilla universe, that is going to go, what the actual fuck? Now, does that mean that I think you are a terrible person because you get really turned on by balloons? No. And I don't mean you, Carley. I just mean you, listener.
Thank you.
If that is your jam. Like, great. Happy for you. I'm not judging it like, ew. I'm just saying, for me, I don't fucking get it. But quite frankly, there's a lot of things I don't fucking get. So Please understand, as you're listening to this episode, everybody, if I have a reaction to something, it's not you. It's me and my little tiny limited world going, whoa.
Oh, for sure. Honestly, my hope today is that a listener will find out that they have one of these fetishes or one of these kinks or one of these things and be like, you know what? There are people like me out there, because I love sexual liberation. And like you said, if everyone is consenting, if everyone is good with it, if it's as safe as humanly possible and there is no victim in any way, fucking do it. Fucking do it. And the thing is some turn-ons aren't even sexual. The other day, I was talking to my husband, and he remembered my sister's favorite animal was a dolphin. And he could have gotten it right there in that moment. The fact that this man found room in his brain to remember my sister's favorite animal, which is a dolphin, in the whole world, that was so hot to me. I couldn't help it. My husband and I redid our floors this last weekend. And at one point in time, he peeled paper back, and he'd been doing it all day. But the way he did it that one time, I was like, all right, you want to get it. I know. Like, you're doing that. I know what you're doing. There was nothing sexual at all. Sometimes turn-ons, like, they just happen.
Yeah. It's hard to explain. And we could always go the psychological route and go, oh, well, clearly you feel this way because of A, B, and C in your childhood, or, you saw your mom date a circus clown and now you believe that is the best partner for you. Like, whatever. I don't know. The thing is, ultimately, the moral of the story is you do you. We're going to talk about all of it. If it's got a name, that means more than one person has felt this way, so You're not alone. And we're also going to discuss just I found this great list of random turn-ons that are a lot of fun, that I think would just be kind of fun to go through. So let's get started, Carley. Educate us.
Okay. I want to play a game. 1, it'll be educational. 2, it's hilarious. And 3, you can hear me try to pronounce things that don't make sense because I did not take Latin. I did take Latin, but I was too focused on like all of the mythology. I didn't pay attention to the class.
Oh, okay, great.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the name of a fetish, and I want you to guess what it is.
Oh, I love this game. Okay.
Okay. So this one is climacophilia.
Climacophilia. Is this, let's see, wanting to have sex with climbing vines.
That sounds awesome. No.
Okay.
It is the arousal to falling downstairs. So somebody or people are aroused by the idea or the action of falling downstairs. Me, I'm like, ooh, that sounds like a deductible and a copay and broken bones. But it gets people going, I
Wait,
guess.
from an English standpoint, I'm real confused. Climasophilius? Climas, and it's a fear of falling down?
Yeah.
God damn it, English language. I
Yeah.
am
Yeah. Climacophilia.
that's some bullshit
Climasophilia.
right there. Falling downstairs. Man, I feel like I could have been the subject of some real hot porns, some climasophilius porns. I think throughout my entire life, I am excellent at falling downstairs.
Oh, see, I can fall on flat ground. Like, is this an
Yeah.
option? If I can get OnlyFans people like $10 for a quick fall, you're welcome.
Oof, that's a
I
good
could.
one. Okay.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Nismalania is the pronunciation I found. Nismalania.
Ms. Melania. Let's see. I don't know. The love of roly polies. I'm just throwing shit out now.
Honestly, the shit that you come up with is like even funnier. It's the arousal of being tickled.
Ooh, I've heard this one.
Yeah, yeah. And there's different subcategories of this, whether you tickle other people, different body parts that like to be tickled, which tickling pisses me off. It
Same.
doesn't arouse me, it doesn't anything. Do not fucking tickle me or I want to punch you in the throat. It's not cute. And getting pinched too. Getting pinched and tickled are the same in my rage brain.
I feel like I saw a documentary recently where they were like, there are whole like movies. I mean, there are like a video. I mean, this is a big one.
Yeah,
Like
it's super
tickling.
common.
Yeah, it's super
Tickling
common.
is huge.
Which is very confusing to me because I was under the impression that tickling is a visceral response to like protect your body from like it's a distrust response because
Yeah.
the areas that you're ticklish are usually areas that you are sensitive. So that's where your organs are. That's going to be sensitive areas, which is why when we are touched there, our body literally curves in to protect it because it's a distrust, which is why a lot of people will lose the ticklish sensation if it's
Yeah.
someone they care about, like they know it's coming and it's someone they care about because it's a trust piece. Like they're not going to have the same
Oh,
reaction if
yeah.
they're not feeling any kind of danger.
Oh, but see, that honestly makes a lot of sense though, because a lot of people need to have that element of like trust, distrust. I mean, in bondage communities, it's all about trust and safety. And
Sure.
so that almost, and if you think about it, when you're doing the sexes, you're touching some of your most intimate pieces. So it would make sense that like the slap and tickle that like people have always talked about, it would make sense to me that tickling sensation. But yeah, tickling is huge. There's a huge community. I found a couple of pages. One was ticklers, and it was just people that are celebrating their fetish. And I thought that was pretty cute. This one is funny, and I don't get it.
Okay.
I just don't. Nasolingus. Nasolingus.
So that's got to be like arousal by the nose or doing stuff with the
Yeah,
nose.
it's arousal to sucking on your partner's nose.
Stop it.
No, I'm
Sucking
just
on your partner's nose?
yeah, arousal to sucking on a partner's nose.
Is this like a real thing? Are you in Urban Dictionary right now?
No,
Because I do not trust that.
I am not. I actually found all of these from a kink and fetish normalization site where it's about people not being ashamed of their healthy consensual fetishes. And so this is a real, these are all real things. It's not Urban Dictionary where like somebody was like, oh, sucking noses. This is a real thing that people get aroused by the idea of sucking on a partner's nose or having their nose sucked on. And then there's also let me find it, nasophilia, which is just like being attracted to noses or being turned on by noses. But this one is nasolingus. So it's like
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cunnilingus. Yeah.
Sure. But I just I that's another one I don't that makes me uncomfortable. Like I've had like my husband thinks he's being funny and like we're kissing and then he like will go and like lick my nose really quick and like ha ha
Mm,
ha and it drives me fucking crazy. Like I'm like
right.
stop it. Get
It
away.
feels very intimate to me because, like, it's not kissing. Do you keep your eyes open or do you close them while
I
somebody
don't. I
sucks on
close
your
my
nose?
eyes.
Well, of course, during kissing, of course. But I mean, like, sucking on someone's nose isn't kissing.
Yeah, but I feel like you would still have your eyes. It's so close at that point. It's uncomfortable.
But are you closing your eyes because you're uncomfortable or because that's what you're supposed to do?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't either. And I'm not going to try it. But for anybody who is a nasolinguist,
So if
let me
you're
know.
somebody who likes to suck on other people's noses, are you then also a someone who likes to have your nose sucked? Or do you just need to find somebody who likes having their nose sucked? And is that a whole different kink altogether?
I'm going to guess that it's different because I mean, I think about like my partners or me myself, like I have different things that I like to have done to me that I don't want to do to them
Sure.
and vice versa. So I'm pretty sure it's just wanting to suck on your partner's nose.
I feel like that would be a hard thing to find another partner who's like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
get down with that.
And do you blow your nose beforehand?
Oh God,
Or
stop it. I can't. Nope.
I'm sorry,
We're
that's a legit question. Okay, we'll go on. But that was just a question I had. This is just a question. So this is one. It's splashing. So it's not the scientific term for it, but I liked the word splashing because it sounded like a sport that rich people would play at a country club.
a kink called splashing.
Mhm.
Uh, does this have something to do with bathwater?
That is such a good idea. No, not at all.
Damn it.
Um, it involves smearing, sitting, and using food. So sitting on cakes or
Mhm.
rolling around in chocolate syrup, and sometimes feet fetish will mix with splashing a lot, and you'll step into cakes and step into mashed potatoes and soft foods. So it's all about this sensory texture experience with food.
That also is not a surprise. I didn't know the name for it.
Yeah.
But again, I saw, God, what was I watching with the girl that like sits on cake? Like she makes a ton of money. Damn it. I love watching documentaries on like
Me too.
what sort of like the historical changes of pornography. I mean, literally since beginning of mankind to
Hmm.
now, because it's always been around and it really honestly, it sort of directs a lot of the changes in technology and social. It's all fascinating to me. And so one of the people in that was this girl. She's a cam model that she takes a lot of requests. And one of the big one is she's like in a bikini and she just sits on cake.
Yeah.
Like that's literally it.
It's a huge thing. Custard is a favorite too because it changes texture, and ice cream because it's more solid and then as it goes it melts and
Okay.
becomes different, like different textures. So
Maybe it's
yeah.
like the ASMR thing, like the combination of that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
sure, sure,
it's
sure.
I just really liked the name because I thought it sounded cute and sporty. And then
Splashing?
splashing. Yeah, can't you hear like some like rich fuck like I went to the country club yesterday and we were splashing with Reginald. Like, like it sounds like pickleball to me or like squash. We played
You
squash.
know what? It could be pickle ball or squash.
Oh, oh.
Shh.
She's here all week, guys. Uh, I only have a couple more. Mechanophilia. Mechanophilia.
Ooh, is this the one the people who like want to have sex with their cars?
Yeah! Ding, 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 ding. She
That
got
was
a
on my
boy.
that was on My Strange Addiction.
Yeah. So, even in some countries, you're allowed to marry them. So, there's one woman who's married to a roller coaster. She just fell in love with. There's men who, mostly men, are married to their cars. But yeah, the guy that was on My Strange Addiction and had his car. And yeah. So, just being super turned on. There are a lot of people that are attracted to helicopters, I guess. Yeah.
That feels like a very dangerous attraction. I
Yeah.
feel like that could go real wrong real fast.
Yeah, no, that's a death trap. You can never get me in a helicopter. There's no way. And I'm also not gonna I don't find them attractive, but good for the people that do, I guess.
So are these people like they have to be in a relationship with the thing or they just want it like a part of the thing? Like they
No,
can
yeah.
have a human partner, but like you bring in some like Hot Wheels into the bedroom and suddenly like it's a sex fiesta.
Here it is. So I don't think it's always emotional attachment. It's just, I mean, it is a fetish, so it's just a turn on. But a lot of people end up getting very attached to one specific
Okay.
item or vehicle. But yeah, I mean, probably Hot Wheels are fun. Hot Wheels are probably like a really good time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I get like somebody like one of those remote control helicopters, would it be the same for them as like giving somebody like a dildo or like,
That is
you know what
such
I
a good
mean?
question.
Like, I
That
don't
is
know.
such a. If you have mechanophilia, can you answer that question? Because, like, no judge, man. I mean, some cars are super hot. Like
I don't know.
T-Birds, those are sexy cars. I'm not aroused by them, but they're pretty.
But like the woman who married the roller coaster for
Mhm.
her bachelorette party, is everybody bringing in like gears or like the little trucks you get in your Happy Meal or like what is it? Like what is the penis popsicle bachelorette party for somebody who's got mechanophilia?
That is such a good question. I don't know. That is such a good question. And like, do you go to amusement park still? Or does that feel not okay?
Well, maybe it's great. Maybe it's just like hitting up a strip club or,
Right.
going to
That's
Thunder from
true.
Down Under every time you're going to Elitch's.
Right. As long as you can behave and nobody's getting hurt. I'm
Yeah.
cool with it.
All
Have
right.
the best time.
I'd like to know.
This is it is hematolania. Lania. Lania. Hematolania. That feels right.
Is this turn-ons of drinking blood?
You are so close. Basically, yeah. So it's the sexual fantasy of pretending to be a vampire, which honestly, I can get behind this one. Vampires are fucking sexy. There is something about this immortal thing that their life depends on me giving them my life, like my lifeblood. That is so hot. And oh God, there are vampire. I mean, even what we do in the shadows, like Laszlo. Fuck yeah! Like I'm having the best time. Absolutely.
See, I think it's really interesting the way you reframed that because my thought was like, yeah, something real sexy about a partner that wants to suck your actual life out of your body. That's like, sure, they could kill you. That's the big red flag. But the big thing is that they're literally sucking your life away.
I
And you're like,
mean,
no, 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 they depend on me.
oh yeah, yeah.
See, that's all in how you frame it.
It's all in how you frame it. But I mean, the cloaks and the velvet and the only being up at nighttime. I get it. I get
Mhm.
that one. I don't want to give my blood to anybody, but like we could pretend.
I feel like you're progressively getting to more popular fetishes because that one I see represented in like in media constantly
Constantly.
of like this is the thing that people love. Did you ever used to watch the show Psych?
Yes.
Oh,
I
love
loved
it.
like
They actually had one whole episode on this. Like there were people that I mean this was their jam. They just
yeah.
pretended to be vampires. That was their deal.
See, I like it. It almost feels like sex LARPing.
Yes.
And I like that. I
And
like
people
it.
can actually get fangs put in.
Yeah,
Like,
you permanent or the
Yeah.
ones that you can take out. I'm pale too, so I wouldn't have to change too much.
No, you're a ginger. How many
Yeah,
ginger vampires are there out there?
I don't know. I don't know, but I would do it. I would go. Like I would in a heartbeat. I don't know. A lot of people that I love very dearly, like I know that they have this fetish, but they don't talk about it. And it is popular. Like there's so many romance novels based off of
Sure.
vampires and vampirism and stuff like that. But if you went on a date with someone and you were like, "So, what are you into?" and they were like, pretending like I'm a vampire and like sucking your blood a little bit, you you might have to think about it.
Well, I think the difference here is that that's not a first date conversation. It would be like if you happen to be someone that's like really into cuddling. Okay, I'm going to find like the most mundane basic thing, okay? Like that shouldn't be something that's going to like make people run. But if I'm on the first date and I'm like, "So, like what are you into?" and they're like, "Cuddling." I'm going to be like, "Check please. That's the
That's
end of it." So
fair.
it really depends on like its time and space. Like if you're in the hot and heavy and like in the moment and they're like, you know, trying to give you a hickey or whatever, like maybe that's the time to bring that up. You can maybe be a little bit more open to it. Over
Mm,
appetizers, definitely not the time to bring that up.
I think I dated wrong. Like I was let's get to the point. Like how many partners have you had? When was last time you got tested? I wanted to know because one, I wanted to protect my lady garden. I also wanted to know, like, where were we? What are you doing? What are your thoughts? What are your feels? What are you into? Because I don't want to, like, I didn't want to get to this stage of where I'm ready to roll around in the sheets and they're like, oh, by the way, put on this headpiece. I don't know. I don't know. I
But
just
see,
didn't.
that's the difference. You were like, you know what? I know that I want to let someone in the lady garden,
Yeah.
so I'm taking applications. And then I'll decide like who is going to come in. My thing was, you know what? I'm pretty good. My lady garden's pretty solid like as it is. If you're going to I don't know if I even want anybody in there. So I got to make sure like I'm not even taking applications. Like make me feel like I want to create a job opening for you. Like I don't know if that's it.
I think that's the nicest way anyone has ever called me promiscuous.
No way. You just had a job position you were looking to fill, so you were finding
No,
the best candidate. And I was like, I'm not actually hiring.
right.
So that's
Get out of here, gardener. Get
like
out of
I was like,
here.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So
I
so
just
that
didn't
was
want to
the
waste
difference.
time. I just didn't want to waste time. I needed to know. Like, if you haven't been tested in the last 6 weeks and you're single and sexually active, guess what? We're not doing each other. And that was a big one for me. But yeah, those were the ones that I found that I either hadn't heard of or I didn't know the scientific name for. The only fetish that I just will not cannot understand is loonies because I hate balloons. They're unpredictable. They make loud noises. They're squeaky. They're everything I don't like about sensory and
Mhm.
experience. So that's one I'm never gonna try. Don't look down on you for it if you are one, but like, I just can't. No,
This
thank
is
you.
not your jam.
No.
Well, I found this amazing list of unconventional things that get us revved. This is from witanddelight.com. And I loved these. So I'm going to go through, there's a pretty decent list. So I'm going to kind of pick and choose. Okay, ready? Here we go.
So
This
excited.
person who said, I get weirdly turned on by repetitive noises that sound like a squeaky bed.
Okay.
I mean, sure, there's some like sense memory in there probably.
Probably.
Um, the sound of fingernails scratching on a short beard.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I get that.
Really?
Oh yeah. I always have fake nails and sitting there scratching my husband's chin is one of my favorite sensory things. It's
So
super
it's still a
calming.
sensory thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. People with low voices. Yes.
Duh. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something about it. Like I'm like, oh, all right. Men holding cats. I
Yeah.
actually have to say the whole idea of like the kittens and the puppies, I am that target demographic. When
Yep.
I see fucking Instagram reels of the firefighters holding puppies, I'm like, done.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, really? Just men with small animals too. Watching a big dude with a tiny chihuahua that he's obsessed with. I'm into it.
But it's not all. Like, if I see like a hot dude holding a rat, I'm good.
See, like, I like
Just says it.
rats.
Nope, I'm going to move forward. I can't.
They're really
Um,
smart, Holly.
this person says ankles. Love a good skinny ankle.
Oh, you would have loved like 16th century porno. Just flashing angles. You would have loved it. Ooh.
Ooh, sausage.
Look at my foot bump.
Okay.
Do you like that? It rubs on shoes when I walk.
You're such a dirty girl, Carly. Oh my God. All right, here we go. When you walk past a house and the smell of its dryer exhaust wafts into your path.
Mm.
I don't know about a turn on, but it definitely makes me
Yeah.
very happy. Like, I feel really good about that one.
It tickles my brain.
Gosh, there's some like just really fun ones here that are so bizarre. Rain hitting windows and
Mm.
swimming in the rain. They said feeling, hearing, and seeing the rain dance across the water.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get that. I get that. That's not super weird. I mean, that's a very sensual kind of soft and yeah.
This is for all my type A friends. This person says numbers. I have the strangest fetish when numbers align perfectly in my brain and the world. I can see that.
I'm not type A, but I'm hardcore ADHD and recently OCD diagnosed, and I make patterns in numbers all the time. In addresses, I like it when the numbers add up.
But does it get you all jazzed?
Oh, if it fits perfectly, my lady garden isn't blooming, but again, my brain is tickled. And I'm like, oh,
Because I'm going to be honest, like my husband and his spreadsheets, I have never seen anyone. Like there are times where I'm like, I just want to shut his office door and give him some time alone because him and his spreadsheet, he's going to come out smoking a cigarette after finishing that one. And I don't get it. He's all about it. So the smell when you blow out birthday candles.
I don't get that one.
Okay, this one says not exactly something that turns me on, but I notice when I have to pee, I'm more easily turned on. Like it makes it more sensitive.
Well, yeah, that's science. And so I've heard this before, and I don't know if it's real, but I have heard, when you kind of like shiver when you pee,
Mm-hmm.
it's because it's basically the equivalent to like almost, this is what I was told, an eighth of an orgasm. Because you have all of that pressure from your bladder on your parts. And so when you relieve that, you get like this like sensation. So that's why you like ooh and like shiver for a second because it's the same stuff as orgasming.
Is that the same thing? The golden shower stuff?
I don't think so. So golden showers are when you are very aroused by either peeing on people or having people
Right.
pee on you. And so I don't think it's as science or like pressure based. I think
Okay.
it's more experience based.
Got you. See, that helps. That helps. Okay. How about this? Clavicles, collarbones, the nape of the neck.
Honestly, yeah.
I 100% am with that one. 100%.
It's one of the sexiest parts of like a woman's body. Men too, but like right there. Like you just want to lick it.
Ooh, this one's a good one. The very first scent of strong coffee in the morning or of strong coffee brewing. I could get that. Okay. I'm going to end with this one because this really hits hard with the lady garden. This person said lilac season. They said, this was writer's note. It said, in Minnesota, lilac blooming season is mid-May. If you don't think I'm going to motorboat 100 lilac bundles this season alone, you would be mistaken.
I like that. I've never understood motorboating, but I think it seems fun.
So here's our thing. I think this is what we should end with so that we can feel like we have not just been judging other people all episode. I think we each should share what's one weird one.
Oh gosh. I have so many. Mine, I've kind of talked about this before, is watching people build stuff. So people
yeah.
being like capable is really hot for me, right? So it can be anything from somebody wrapping a present really neatly and nicely, or very strong, strapping. Like my husband, I realize I talk about him all the time, but he is really cool. I was doing a show with him, and we were building a set for theater, and I was hanging out with one of the like another female, and I had never seen this man as attractive at all. And he is climbing a ladder with a drill in one hand and like two screws poking out of the side of his lip. And he like kind of turned, and he was holding this big window above his head too with the other hand. And just the amount of like being so capable was so fucking hot. And the screws coming out of his mouth, like sitting there like a naughty cigarette, but they're like building tools. Oh my God. All of a sudden I was like, whoa. And at the same time, she was like, Justin's hot. And I was like, yeah, I know. I just learned that too. Like people building shit, man. Like sawdust smell in the air. Like, ooh, oh, that gets me going.
Hey, well, why don't you tell Justin if he really wants a sexy date, he needs to take you by any of the construction sites here in Colorado Springs. There are so many.
That's probably true. Yeah, like some voyeur stuff. Like
you guys could just go on a tour of any of the construction sites around this town. My God.
That's probably true.
Just sexapalooza all over this town.
Everyone just rolling in sawdust.
Everywhere.
It makes me itchy though. So
okay. Well, again,
like worth it.
Just check it out. Check it out. Don't help them build. Just
being a voyeur. Just
there you go.
Watch you build.
Yes, you build that apartment complex. Need more of those. So mine is nonverbal communication, and in a very specific way. I don't know what it is, but there's something about having a conversation with somebody, and it's the moment of extended eye contact at the end of the conversation with a smile at the end. It's something about the like, there's a whole lot being said that doesn't get said, and it just, I don't know. It doesn't happen very often, but like when it happens, you're like,
oh, and like stolen glances from across the room.
Love it. There's something, eye contact can be used as a real sexy weapon.
It can.
It really can. Not a lot of people know how to wield it, but when it is, it's dangerous.
It's true. I don't know if this is one for you too. When my husband winks at me from across a room, like he'll be in a conversation with somebody else, he'll look at me and wink real quick, like, oh, that's my girl, Oh, blah, 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 like
that right there. That is weaponized eye contact. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's really
it takes down all my defenses. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
So there you go, listeners. Like, it doesn't matter what your jam is, whether you're like really into roller coasters or really into ankles and guys carrying wood. Just remember, we're all fine. And by fine, I mean, we all fine. You're welcome. What'd you say? I'm here all week. All right, guys. If you've not already, please check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We are at We're All Fine Podcast. Please, 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 if you have not already, go on to Apple. Leave us a review. Drop some words. Anything. We would love it. That helps us out a ton. Guys, we love you. And we're going to see you next week.
Bye.